Greetings and salutations, everyone. It's I, Samius once again. We are working on Three Barrel Cove. I'll probably end up doing several of these quests in Three Barrel Cove together. This is usually what I do at level 7. I find that Three Barrel Cove tends to be a really, really high experience. So you can pretty much just do the Three Barrel Cove quest, and then you can take level 8. So we're gonna do that. Hey, I want to say level to learn for life, but that may not be correct. Have a good one. People are taking off. They finished their showers and they gotta go. We had a pretty lively discussion, just a little bit. We're gonna start with the Stones Run Red. Pretty lively discussion about some of the changes upcoming here to DDO, which is one of the really good reasons that you should probably consider jumping over and following the stream in the event that you're not already following the stream. We're also going to switch our weapons to Frost for this quest, because obviously there's a lot of fire in this quest, right? We made a couple of gear changes for those of you who are interested. The main ones is that we have picked up our astral projector, and we also have switched to the I think we switched to him anyway. Oh, we did not. Did I put the other goggles away? I meant to switch to I have to make a quick run to the bank to our Eyes of the Eagle set. It looks like we did not. Or whatever that set's called. Raven's Eye set. Raven Eye set is one of my favorite sets in DDO. At low level. So definitely want to get that piece of gear back on. So we may actually take a quick run back to the airship before we finish up out here. It's not my intention to do such a thing, but we'll definitely have to take a minute to check it out. So anyway, this quest is actually, a lot of people consider this one of the higher experience quests, and something that you can kind of zerg through very, very quickly, especially if you have a little bit of... What is giving me Featherfall? One of these things is giving me Featherfall. I dislike having Featherfall on all the time. I've slotted him in these boots. Gross. I have to get rid of these boots, I guess. I wanted to wear them because of the various goodies on them, but I had to slot. These came over from the hardcore server, because I hadn't pulled a pair on live at the time. Alright, we'll have the hireling head that direction. Pull that lever, we'll pull this lever. Alright. And we have this altar right here.
The second altar breaks, and you feel a faint tremor below your feet. The dragons.
And not that it's super important, but there's a chest and a collectible behind this altar. And we're in good shape. Oh man, I tell you, I enjoy having a rousing discussion about upcoming changes and stuff, but it takes it right out of you compared to other kind of discussions, because people don't like change, and two, it's excuse me, it's hard to make everybody happy all the time.
The air grows more stifling. The sulfurous stench more nauseating. The heart of the mountain lies ahead.
Again, I don't want to rehash any of those things for the video. I want the videos to be as not time-stamped as possible, but yeah, I feel like a lot of people are going to have strong feelings for this upcoming update, which is true about literally every single update. So I feel like that doesn't in particular have a lot of impact on people, but feels like there's a lot of big changes on this one. Alright, so the big trick for this quest, for me, has always been, I like to go around the top side. I know a lot of people, God, it's so weird having Featherfall on all the time. I know a lot of people tend to have it on all the time. I always personally feel like I am more likely to get in danger if I'm spending time in air. While you're feather falling, your speed is reduced and blah blah blah. I always feel like I'm much more likely to get randomly killed. Alright, so that's 21,000 experience. Again, if you're a real Zerger, which I am not a real Zerger, but if you're a real Zerger, you can get through this quest very, very quick. I feel like we went through it at a reasonable pace and it took us like 5 minutes. Real Zergers can get through this thing in like a minute, 2 minutes. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pop back to the airship. I think specifically because I need to go ahead and grab those proper goggles from the bank. I thought I had already switched them, but must add some DDO lag, and they didn't switch. I like the Raven set quite a bit. Now let's head back to Three Barrel Cove and finish those quests. Oh. I'm going to be set about a really good ear scratch. Alright. So the Fire Cave / the Stones Run Red are a 2-part quest chain. You pretty much always want to go ahead and knock them out together, in my experience. At least I typically do. I also do this quest. Ooh, I forgot this quest. I do the quests out here a lot differently, especially now with the horse. There are people who kind of tease me a little bit for my pattern through the quest area, but you can do the quest in any order that you like. But as we kind of rock through the rest of these, you'll see why, or we'll discuss why I do the quests in the order that I do them in. But mostly in my brain, it's a matter of convenience and how I don't want to have to spend time going in and out of loading screens if I can help it. So remembering to turn your rune on and off is a real drag for me.
The voices of the ogres are silenced, but now there is something even more ominous.
When you're putting your horse on and off.
Feel through the door.
Man, I love this rune arm. I always forget how strong this rune arm is when I'm not playing an arty, but those 3 little balls of doom just come out and just kick thing in the teeth so hard. If you get the opportunity to do the ice games, or not the ice games, the Maybar games, be sure to take the time to make yourself one of these astral projectors. It'll be very important in upcoming quests as well. There's nothing up here to get except for the collectible again, but it's alright. Grab our collectible. Wonder if I have like some other gem I can just stick on top of that Featherfall gem. That'll keep the same level and be worth having in there. Alright, we still got our helper.
Again, you have triumphed. Another elemental lurks ahead, watching you with eyes.
Helper is instructed to get that lever. Again, that chest and collectible will be behind the... It used to be the altar before, but it's no longer the altar. Of course, now's a great time to sprint boost around. Boost, 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 boost it up. Of course, I don't have a sprint boost. I should put some points in the... Oh my goodness, now I can't think of the name of the tree, the falconry tree. Just enough so I can get sprint boost. Because an important thing that a lot of people don't really think about is your run speed directly relates how quickly you get through the quest, which directly relates to your XP per minute. The other thing I did, or didn't do, leveled up. I didn't prepare my 3rd level spells. Nor did I grab spell components, but that's okay. I've grabbed some general spell components. We'll make that work. Again, I like to go in through the top. I like having the high ground. If Star Wars taught me nothing, it's that the high ground is where it's at. To stop and shrine. Someplace here. Also take advantage of the fact that we have this Featherfall on. Grab these collectibles. Go irritate this fire elemental. Really surprised that that guy wasn't a champ.
The elementals are slain, one and all.
Get recoiled out of here. Took us a little longer than it probably should have. Again, had we had a sprint boost, it would be a different story. We just around.
Heat and steam rise from the cave entrance before you.
Alright. I'm going to take a slight detour instead of just going straight to the next quest. I'm going to go ahead and shrine and pick up my 3rd level spells here. There's a couple of shrines right in this vicinity. Here it is. Grab that quick siesta. We also could switch our 1st level spells around. I did take these, which we should probably have. Oh no. Got all this trash on me. Are they gonna let me switch spells though? Alright, let's get these guys going. Haste, make sure it's extended. And displacement, same thing. Displacement over here though. Yeah, I'm just confirming that I have not in fact taken the shield SLA. Alright, so I tend to kind of work my way through the quest a little bit in a backwards type manner. Just because I prefer to kind of hit everything on the way out. I know a lot of people, they'll go ahead and recall back out and then hit everything in a different pattern. Again, it really doesn't matter. However you want to do the quest is totally fine. One way around a big circle, another way around the big circle. It doesn't matter. One way or another, you're still just going in a big circle.
Just large enough to wiggle through.
Wonder what I did to make my hireling not
thick fog rises
come
up
with
from the
me.
water as voices of pirates float along the current. Moonlight shines down from an opening above.
Why are we not hitting that guy? There must be a thing in front of him. Oh, that little piece of wood was protecting him. That's smart. Alright, so if you've never done this quest before, you have to clear these NPCs before that door will unlock. Or that lever will unlock. And this lever unlocks this door. I guess I probably should have talked about in that other quest where the shrines are at, but I didn't think about it. Alright, there's a couple of optionals in this quest. We'll touch on them. I can't promise that we're going to do them all, but we'll definitely touch on them. So the important one is that I always do the puzzle. We'll talk about the puzzle here in a second when we actually get to it. The other one that I find to be important, not because the optional is good or the optional is worth a lot of experience or it's got awesome loot in it. I guess it's kind of got an awesome loot in it. But
you notice a lever on the back of the
there's one of the most unique and most interesting items in the game comes from this quest. And it is called a fiery cudgel. Hey, baby girl. I know you have to swim underneath here, but it doesn't look like I have the
appears to be in working
gate unlocked. Should be a lever somewhere that I have to. One more lever. I think it's this way by the shrine. So anyway, this is one of the most interesting items Again, not because it's good, not because of any particular reason. Man, I hope I can get it. Don't know if I
The
can.
shape of a lever pokes through a tangle. When you pull the lever, you hear the sound of a gate rattling open.
I don't know if I have a way to put this fire out. But if we swim around, there'll be a named
The Scrag Troll
Scrag here.
then charges with the intent to kill. The Scrag falls to your unrelenting
Alright,
as one
we can
of
get
the
it. So the
burning
Smoldering
balls
Kugel is the item that I was talking up here. And what makes it so interesting, if you notice over here, on underneath where it says simple weapon proficiency, the next line underneath there says drop on death, which means that this thing literally, if you die in a quest, or if you die in the marketplace, or any place you may die, then this item will fall out of your backpack. Which doesn't seem like crazy, right? But but enables you to do an awful lot of fun, like, things with your guild, or as a challenge or whatever, to kind of show that you've not died. This was one of the things that I used to use way back in the Wayback Machine for when playing with certain people, as like your proof of life, is that you had your cudgel. Now the disadvantage is that you could cheat, right? You could bind this to your character, and then it wouldn't unbind, or it wouldn't drop on the ground if you like spent time to bind it to yourself. But otherwise, it does a lot of good. It also is one of the few gross thieves' tools. It's one of the few items in the game that, back in the Wayback Machine, would give you a command and a perform on the same item. So it was a way to get like +3 to your charisma-based skills, which a long time ago was actually pretty hard to come by. There used to be a hat called, and there still is probably, but a hat, and all it did was give you +2, or give you command, and then I think there was another one that gave you like +2 to your skill. Alright, so I'm going to do the puzzle, but you could, if you're not good with the puzzle, you could go back and you can kill this guy, this named guy in here. That'll spawn. These doors will close, there'll be a bunch of trash, there'll be a chest, but eventually you'll get a key, and you can use that key to unlock this door for this guy. I, on the other hand, always do the puzzle. So when I do the puzzle, I come in and I start... I come in and go to the right, and I start by clicking that right there. And then I come up and I make this attach. Then, because I know the puzzle so well, I know that it's going to come back around this direction and flow down here. So this cube is done, right? So it's going to come. Now, I'm not worried about it because I know the puzzle well enough to know how it's going to work. But if you are uncomfortable with the puzzle, take your time. The reason why you have to kind of be careful, let's see if I can search some out here, is that some of these circles are trapped. Yeah, here's one. So if that gets the power from this, you're going to do damage to the guy down there, and the guy down there doesn't have a lot of hit points. He's hit point light. Okay, so we kind of went up and around. Now we're going to turn it into here. This is where we want to go. And again, you kind of keep an eye on it. If something happens and you do hit this guy, just cut the power. Just cut the power. It's not a big deal. I'm going to take this. We're going to turn it to this guy. Now this one's a little bit different. Because see how that delay kicked in? So you want to fall down. Turn this rune. So it goes into down here. If you just turn it down, it'll go to this one, and that one's trapped. Alright, so that's done. I don't think I want power to go that way just yet. Yeah, I did not. Just go around this outside and then up. Turn this direction. Then wiggle, 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 wiggle. Alright, should be good. Then we'll see how that power went that way earlier. And it... I'm just going to talk to this dork.
You have freed Barrier Warley for me.
Alright, so solving that puzzle... Oops. Was, 3,000 experience, and then completing the quest was what? Where'd it just go? Another 6,000. So together this quest was about 19. Again, if we didn't stop and do the messing around with the puzzle or the getting the cudgel, that would have shaved like 5 minutes off the quest time. So it'd like 4 minutes to do this quest. If you have 2 people who know how to do the puzzle, and of course obviously 2 people to help clear, then this quest can take like 3 minutes. This is one of the quests that people will repeat and walk down and do stuff just to like when they're power leveling through the levels. It's a really, really good quest for that. Again, a lot of... I forgot this. A lot of 3-Barrel Cove is actually quite strong for this kind of stuff. Because we're doing the road most traveled, we're going to skip the quest over here. The assembling the turtle. I forget what it's called, but it's this quest right over here. Scoundrel's Run. We will definitely do it next life. I've kind of been, since the hardcore server, I've been trying to work it in a little bit. Distributed tells me it's super fast once you know the run, but I have still not got it down. So to me, it still takes a little bit of time. We will go through it on the road least traveled, which will be the next life. But for now, we'll just continue pressing through over here. Prove your worth. It's going to be extra easy now because I have feather falling boots on, but I'll actually probably take my feather falling boots off to show you that you can do it without.
The trial will be treacherous. Be aware of every step you take.
But I'll show you the super easy method as well. Another quest that I don't honestly know if I'm going to bother with breakables. I probably won't, actually. I will say this is one of those... Yeah, I'm not going to mess with it after just a few... in a couple of places here. If there's people who feel like they cannot go forward, you can go through here. I'd recommend that you jump up on top here and go around. Eventually we'll be here, and this is like the back way, so in case you just can't go the other direction. You can still get through the rest of the quest. I'd recommend instead just learning this part of the quest, but, you know, to each their own, I guess. We missed some monster here. Couple of monsters, it looks like. And I'm knocked down. What? Knockdown nonsense. Alright. Now, I tend to jump over all these breakables right here, which is part of the reason I was like, yeah, we should probably just skip all that. The reason why is, with all the exploding stuff in here, I feel like it just gives you an opportunity to make a mistake to get yourself killed. So I tend to skip it. You can clearly have somebody who goes through the quest behind you slowly, and break things from a distance, and that does help pick up those various bonuses there. Alright, so let's talk about this quest, or this part of the quest. This is the thing that a lot of people find to be incredibly challenging. I'm going to teach you right now how to do this super easy. Particularly if you have Featherfall on, it's not a big deal. What you want to do is you want to hit whatever your mouse click button is. Mine happens to be T. I think that's the default. But if you turn all the way around and you have Featherfall on, literally all you have to do is jump off and push forward. Right? Literally all you have to do. So look where you want to go and push forward. So I fell down there. I thought I might be able to grab that other one, but I'm gonna just show you again. Turn around, push forward. You don't even have to be that close on your heights, but it does help some to be close. Now I'm gonna take my Featherfall boots off, and it's basically the exact same method. The difference is that you gotta get pretty much to the very, very top of the ladders. Feather fall down. I'm gonna like show this technique, and I'm gonna fall a whole bunch, and it'll be great. But I've actually done this the last couple of lives with no issues at all, so it should be fine. So you just climb up. See, the problem is I'm getting too far up the ladder, thinking I can get one more rung higher, but I can't. So again, you want to get to the top of the ladder, but you don't want to do what I've been doing and just like lopping yourself off here. So this is the top. You turn around, mouse look around, jump over, same thing. It's the same principle. The difference is if you have Featherfall on, you don't have to stress about it. If you're like me and you normally don't carry Featherfall around, it is totally doable without Featherfall. Just realize that if you make a mistake, you're not going to have the opportunity to catch it quite as well as you could if you had Featherfall on. There's one other big change if you don't have Featherfall on, as opposed to if you do have Featherfall. We'll talk about that when we get to it. But you have to kind of allow for the bounce in certain spots, particularly at the very, very end, which we're coming up to now. So the main difference is that you don't want to be so high.
Your muscles are
Like if you're feather falling, you can just go all the way up to the top and feather fall over here. But if you're not feather falling, you want to be, I don't know how to put it. You saw me do it, but like maybe the equivalent of a jump above this ladder. And the reason why is because you still have to grab this ladder. You're not going to have enough jump or forward momentum to get all the way over here, likely. So instead you just want to be able to grab that ladder and pull yourself up. And again, people not being able to make that climb is the reason why people will like to skip and go through the back way. Which there's no reason. Everyone has the ability to do that. That is not a impossible task right there. So again, with Featherfall, it's super easy. Just mouse look and jump where you want to go. If you don't have Featherfall, you have to find the top rung of the ladder that you can actually get to without being like shot off of it, and then you can you gotta work your way down. Now you notice I still don't have my Featherfall on through this part. It's because I want to make sure that I land where I want to land. I don't want to Featherfall around and do a bunch of shenanigans here. Again, I'd like to just show people. Should have been a little bit more forward momentum there. We could have grabbed those ladders. Alright, so again, if you were paying attention, this is that, I looked into here from that side. Now I'm gonna show you how to do this puzzle really quickly. It's actually pretty simple. If you look around, you'll see that there are one on this side, and there's two on this side. And there's none going forward. So we're never going to go forward, right? But we are going to go this way. Now, you just kind of have to know that this one goes back towards the what I call the front. You'll see it shoot all around. And then what it does is that opens this gate right here. Now we're going to go to the number 2 side. And then we want them to shoot. The first one shoots to the second one. The second one shoots to this back wall. Is how I remember it. Then we have to hit the reset lever. And then we fire. And it goes pew 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 pew. And then boop, right there. It's not a difficult puzzle. Once you learn it, again, it's a matter of you have to take a minute to kind of learn it there. Hopefully that'll help you guys on that. Again, this is one of the quests that is a really good rate of return on the experience, in my opinion. Particularly if you have a couple of people, somebody to break the breakables behind you makes a huge difference. Kind of divide and conquer. I'm gonna break just a couple more things, see if I can get to that 10% bonus. Yeah, okay, I'm done. Not worried about the 5% more experience. Then you'll notice this big hallway. There'll be a guy that spawns behind you. Old iron sides. It's pretty easy going. He'll almost always be a champ if you're on Reaper. I like that they give some extra love to the names in here. Alright, I'm going to show you how I do this part of the quest. You can do it a couple of different ways, but this is what I do. I'll walk around this direction, jump over here, and then depending on your jump and your feather fall situation, you can just jump over to here. Pull this lever and you're good. Now, you can also like walk your way around, disarming the traps. I usually don't mess around with that very much. I feel like it's kind of a pain to try to find all these traps and do everything this way. But I do tend to do this trap. You disable these 2 trap boxes and then you can move this chest. You got the 10% tamper bonus. 1 or 2 more traps along the way we might mess with. I also want to say really quickly, if your jump is good, you can just straight up jump up here. It usually takes like a jump spell or a jump potion or having an awful lot of native jump. Or you can carry around some of these potions of jumping that are plus 30. Or birthday, Christmas cakes. There's a lot of good options. Still kind of breaking through the yawning here. Apologize. Now, this is typically where I, in the quest, I don't mess around doing all the other stuff. And we'll just kind of talk about this. If you're a pirate, would you take a head count of your crew or would you run for the loot? You'd run for the loot, right? Arr. Hi. We're just having a lag spike is all. Nasty lag spike apparently. Oh, we just lost internet connection. Alright, well that's bad. OBS died. TDO died. Alright, looks like things may have reconnected here. Well, this looks like OBS is still struggling. We may have to call this quest a little bit earlier. But basically all you do is you answer the questions the most piratey you can. So it's things like, yes, I want to swashbuckle, run for the loot, go to the bar, stuff like that. And if you miss some, you just have to kill some waves of pirates. And then what I like to do is I like to go ahead and throw meat off of make him walk the plank. That finishes the quest right there. You don't have to go any further and the quest is done. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here, see if we can maybe get the stream up and running again. If we do, we'll do part 2 of these. If not, we'll have to figure out what's going on with the internet. Alright everybody, I hope you have a wonderful day and we'll see you very soon. Toodles. Oh wait, no. Looks like it came back. Sweet. Alright. We'll keep going then. We'll keep going. So the local tavern. Double the share of the crew. Of course I want to swashbuckle. Are you kidding? Why wouldn't I swashbuckle? If you decide to let Meeble free, there we go, OBS has decided to work again. If you decide to let Meeble go free, then you have to, there's some more quests to do. Basically some more breakables and some more running through some things in a trap box or 2. The big secret is you have to wait till that guy disappears before you do anything. Otherwise,
You survived the gruel.
otherwise it can bug out. So yeah, anyway, I like to just complete right here. And I'll still wrap up and call this a video right here. We'll do the
A small building. stands
You know what?
curiously
Nah,
alone
I'm a liar.
in the
We'll go ahead and do
center
this
of the
next
Cove.
one. Next one's actually pretty quick, and then that'll be the first half of 3-Barrel Cove, and then we'll do I forget what that quest is called over there. Hitting the wrong button. Oh, great, Garl. We'll do that a little bit later. This cannoneer, if you don't have a Schrott's hand cannon, it's a good way to pick that up. I don't think it's the only way to pick it up. But he's a... I find him to be here most of the time. He's a really solid pickup on quests to get rares to go hunt gear for. There we go.
The cacophony of wailing and moaning becomes clearer as you enter the cave.
Alright. So, Two-Toed Tobias. This will be the last one in this first series. Like I said, I'm one of those people who like to kind of come back. I don't mind doing a quest a little bit later when I'm a little bit higher level, just to kind of make sure stuff works through. And again, we're like cranking through the levels or the ranks pretty quick right here. Remember, we started with 3-Barrel Cove with no, like a little bit of experience, like we're barely over, and now we're almost 4 ranks through. Okay, we're in the middle of our 4th rank, but or the 3/4, one quarter, 1/3. I don't know. I'm not a fractions guy, but we're like a third of the way in. This will probably take us, I would imagine, to better than 3/4. Tend to skip a lot of trash in this early section. Just don't worry about it. Here's a valve. This valve is trapped. If you're worried about damage, you can go up here and disable this trap beforehand. If you have a hireling, you can have your hireling do it, which is what I typically do when I don't have the ability to trap. I'll just have my hireling. I'll summon it like right on top of it, and then I'll hit the valve button. He'll pull the valve and take like a little bit of damage. I feel like hirelings take less damage than traps. Don't know if that's actually true, but it feels true to me. This is a good reason to have a little bit of extra swim. There's actually quite a few quests in the game where having just a little bit of swim is quite strong. Alright, we're gonna summon this guy, set him right here. He may or may not actually do some good. You never know. But at this shrine, you're gonna get locked in, and you have to clear a couple waves of trash. So there's always an opportunity for him to be helpful there. I like to stick him basically right here in this intersection. Whichever hireling I'm using. Because if we can stay up top and keep the high ground and not have to worry about it, then that's obviously better for us.
Cervantes, two-toed Tobias' first mate, has been returned to the depths.
Okay. Pick up our collectibles while we wait for our debuff to wear off, and then back through the quest again. I will attempt to show you that you can do this. I guess we got a little ways to go first. I'm getting ahead of myself slightly.
A slight breeze emerges from behind
I believe that's another shrine. You might as well show it off. Maybe it's not a shrine. Maybe it's a treasure chest. I don't remember what's behind this door. Maybe a collectible. No, another shrine. There's so many quests where you have a turn like that, like it goes around the corner just like that. There's like some have a shrine, some have a collectible, some have a chest. It's hard telling which one any of them are. Now I like to go ahead and spawn this fight first. That's just me. It doesn't really matter when you do it. That's how you do it. Then what you'd like to do is you want to come over here and fall down this side. But Samius, I know, doesn't matter. But if you fall down this side, then you're already going to be in the right spot to pull this first lever. And then you don't have to think about it. Then you can swim underneath the boat and down. And this will take you to the second lever, which is up there above all that ice.
A frigid cold cuts through your body as you see a frozen river below. The source of the cold air is coming from.
Of course, the closer you are to the valve, the less likely you are going to get hurt. You get a tasty ham while I'm standing here. And the third lever is kind of a little bit of a pain if you didn't know where it was. But if you find this this ladder and you hadn't pulled 3 levers, then you need to go find the third lever. It's kind of over by this ladder. Now, if you're watching this video, you probably don't have a lot of experience in the epic version of this quest. If you have a little bit of an epic experience in this quest, or you'd like to check it out for the epic experience, there's a named right here. It actually is a pretty big experience gift, to be honest. He's not very hard, and he's a big experience point pile, so... And he has a good chest. Not like named loot in it or anything, but is a good high level chest for things to sell or deconstruct or whatever. Alright, so what I was referring about before that I said I would do my best to try to show you is right here. It's not the one I wanted to push, but it'll work. So something that I figured out last life for me was that it didn't take that much jump for me to be able to jump up to hit these levers in melee instead of just ranging them. It turns out that I did not have a ranged weapon on that character, and I did not stop to grab the bow and arrow out of the quest off of the boat. So let's see if I can. If you like, yeah, I don't think I quite have enough jump on this guy. But if you have just a little bit more jump, you can actually jump up there and get on this ledge. And then you can just hit that lever. And then you can do the same thing on this side, standing on this rock. Just jump up there. Obviously, if you can't do that, you just mouse look, shoot the levers.
Back, the floor opens.
And it's a mischief bonus. Man, I figured it'd be more than that. I feel like I got most of the breakables.
The door before
so
you opens.
somewhere in that ballpark is the magic number. Right over here, this guy will spawn right here.
Speaks to you.
It's about time someone found me.
The legend of Two-Toed Tobias was
There you
not
go.
just an urban
Easy peasy, 20,000 experience.
doubtful
This quest, you
your tale.
really don't have a... Why is it not letting me unlock this trunk? There we go. There really isn't like a way to speed it up. The best way to speed it up is like somebody goes and does the levers in reverse order while you go in the front order, or vice versa. But that really is only shaving off just like the barest little bit of time. So I generally recommend that you just don't worry about shaving too much time off of that quest. And that this is normally all the ones that I do out here at this particular run. You could do the... You know what? Never mind. I'm going to go ahead and do the... just to round them out, we'll go ahead and do this quest over here. This is another two-parter. Basically because I said that you could basically spend all of level 7 just doing Three Barrel Cove. And it is a very true statement, so we'll just go ahead and do it.
A cave extends deep into the rock
Do
behind
the Troglodytes
this
get?
The grotto is warm and damp. The sound of dripping water surrounds.
The tricks to keep in mind in this quest is, again, there's a lot of casters. So you're going to want to have your magic missiles up and running. And they're also going to do Trog Stench on you. So you have to keep an eye out on that. When you see those clouds of fart right there, you want to be careful not to hang out in them too much. That's what I always think of them as. Don't you think of them as that?
Well, that's a very unusual description.
For the Troglodyte stink?
Spilling rank-smelling jelly into the water. One down.
I don't know. It feels pretty accurate.
Something glistens
Been
beneath the stone.
doing optionals as we see them, so we'll do this optional here as well. This optional is a bunch of gargoyles will ambush you when you go to loot this chest.
As the chest creaks open, the
I usually
gargoyles
skip this
around
one because I
shudder to life.
just is not a lot of experience for the extra hassle. Same thing with like a chest. Chests for me are not as big of a deal as like a bunch of collectibles or something. I'm more likely to get in trouble over a collectible than I am a nonsense chest.
You glimpse a glimmer of light behind the waterfall.
I really like to get this light bearer down so I can focus on the casters. You're told to heal me. There you go. Alright, if you need a shrine, this is a not that hard of one to get, assuming that you have the ability to open locks. If you can't open locks, then I would, again, unless you really, really need a shrine, I would not I'd not worry about it. There's nothing else in here worth it. So don't bellow opening that door unless you just absolutely positively have to have a shrine right away.
This huge echoing vault was once the hideout of Garl the Grey and his men. More Troglodytes.
If you need a shrine, but it's not like a super dire emergency, then you can do this next room. There's a little shrine right after this room. Oh, a danger man. My fragments. There we go. This is another reasonable time to pull your hireling and see if your hireling can beat you to one of the levers. Usually can't, so you might as well get them both. The hirelings will not recognize that you can run across this little area right here. As opposed to you can, so. But if you have a couple of hirelings, you can often send one way, one the other way, and speed things up. Here's that second shrine I was talking about before. Again, that one is not anything special. A little bit of trash up here. A little bit of trash on the corresponding side. Alright, then I would always recommend you go across this bridge and then fall down just so you can get the collectible. And if you're not having your feather fall, I'm kind of jumping around like I'm used to jumping while I don't have my feather fall on, because I'm very much not used to having it on. And then there's a spot right over here that you pick up another collectible. That gives you an opportunity to clean up some of this trash down here.
This is Zalch, chieftain of the tribe. Chief Zalch, progenitor of the egg, slain.
Oozes, thank you.
Through the arches lies the way to Great Garl's resting place. Red Tom and his lot never made it this far.
A couple of breakables. Again, I ran past some other breakables earlier. I don't know. Again, I'm not good at hitting breakables. It's not my thing.
Here, in in this sea-flooded cave are the last of the Troglodytes' eggs. Sputtering, greasy slime,
Yep.
the last of the Troglodytes' eggs ruptures the breeding ground.
Alright, and then this is another 2-part quest, so you gotta go back out, advance it, come back in to finish. Part 2 is basically just like part 1, with the exception of you have to get a key.
Extends deep into the rock behind this waterfall.
They make an underwater swim. The mobs change a little bit, but not like crazily. Sorry, getting some other work text messages here. We'll just go advance that quest, and then we'll pop back through. Not click right before. Alright, one last quest. Then we'll finish up the 3-Barrel Cove, basically. There's remember there is one quest out here that I normally skip, so we're gonna skip it this go around. But then we'll definitely pick it up next quest.
The feel of this place has changed. The air is strangely cold now, and the scent of old decay has replaced the Troglodytes' musk.
I'm kind of run through this a little bit quicker here. And same thing, same gargoyle, same chest. So we don't need to worry about it.
The chill flows out from behind the falls, so strong that the water makes your feet numb with cold.
There we go. Get all this pain and suffering done at the same time. Okay, why do we still have that? Let go.
A grating whisper drifts out of the dark from beyond.
Again, we gotta reopen that door, so.
Disturbs my tomb. Dog, you will never see the sun again.
As long as you keep your alert low, it's fine. Who cares? Zerg away. Alright, so we got that door open. This high priest will pop out. He likes to get destroyed by our rune arm, like all undead. Here we'll get some trash to like pop out of these gates. Not gonna worry about it too much. We'll clean up here at this hallway. Basically anything that like decides to come at us. Again, just trying to keep the alert from being a pain, but not that worried about it. Alright.
The stone
This time there won't be guys up there to get us. This time we're going to jump around like we have our feather all on. A little less worried about showing you how to do it without featherfall this time. Seeing as the number of people who don't like featherfall, like myself, seem to be in the minority compared to people who do like featherfall. Couldn't decide if that was an ooze or a chest spawning in. Alright, this pile of oozes we should probably clean. This infight can actually get a little bit tricky. Less tricky because we're ranged than if we were not ranged. But the sleet storming casters can be a real pain. Yeah. So there's 1, 2. She's adorable.
The air here is so cold that frost rimes the stones. The chill seems to have come from beneath the water.
Come on. Nah, they're gonna make me summon Ellery. It's fine, I guess. Get some hit points from Ellery. Alright, so like I mentioned, there's a key in this chest this time. No, there's a key on the dead body of this guy. Sorry. Basically, the key, you're going to swim down. Right here, you will have found this if you swum around here last time.
Be able to open it with the proper key. A chest gleams in the frozen light. This is Grey Garl's lost hoard. The whispering
His lost
speaks
hoard is
once
this one
more.
chest.
As the chest opens, a frigid wind.
Alright, we got a couple of things that we need to kill. I like to kill this caster first. Just because I feel like it tends to be a little bit more of a problem than some of the other stuff. Then I typically get this ghost. Or I try to, and then I try to clean up that last guy
With a
last.
despairing shriek, old Grey
There we
Garl
go.
dissolves like a
I said,
pestilent vapor. The cold
trip through
sucking
Three Barrel
air
Cove,
begins to
and you're good to go. I do realize that we had a couple of weird spots in there, and also we took time to like check out
Our cave
the
extends deep into the rock behind
pretty much all the optionals through the quest. So not the fastest run ever, but it was an hour and 14 minutes of recording time on my end. Again, if you streamline those quests down, you don't have to run back to the ship to finish your set that you thought you already had, etc., etc. It can be pretty fast. All in all, ooh, I like to take these pirate treasure maps when I can get them. They're like little one-shot +1. So many Vorpals that do nothing. They're like little one-shot chest boosting. Keen electrifying. That's almost good. Almost. I also like to pick up one of the quarterstaffs. This life it doesn't matter so much because I have a Gust of Wind spell myself. But if I'm on a character class that doesn't have access to Gust of Wind, I like to do that. Ooh. It's not the worst. If it was level 3, I'd probably take it. But as level 5, I have better crossbows and vorpals, I think. Wow, the only little weird named item was this one. That's a sad. Alright, I don't usually do this boat quest. I usually don't do the Scoundrels run. We will do those next life, though, just so you have them for your tutorial process. As always, thanks very much for hanging out. If you enjoyed this video, please consider jumping over to our Twitch page, twitch.tv/SamusGarobo, and subscribing over there so you can watch us live. And if you're watching live right now, please consider jumping over to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/SamusGarobo, and giving us a follow over there so you can know when we post new videos over there. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. I hope these tutorials are helping you out. Obviously, if you're watching them, they must be. So hope you continue to enjoy. Toodles.